It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Monday morning, and we thank you so much for starting the brand new week with us. And of course, it's that time of the week, relationship chat time. And we all, I think, would love to enter into new relationships with a clean scoreboard. But most of us enter relationships with experiences of the past. These past romances and past loves. So talking about these with our new partner, however, can prove to be an incredibly difficult and tricky, perhaps annoying and discomforting kind of thing that brings about anxiety and things like jealousy start creeping into your relationship.
And so today we are asking, how do you handle the topic of exes in your current relationship? What are the rules when it comes to talking about them and talking to them? Our relationship expert, Dr. Eve, is in the building to help us discuss this hot topic, and our lines are open throughout. So do call in with your questions or comments on 021 430 9881, and we will engage with you. Dr. Eve,
yes,
my word, on a
Bringing
Monday.
about the hot topics.
Yeah.
People just like at the breakfast table right now.
Yikes.
All right,
as
so
they put their phones down, chatting to their ex, surreptitiously.
So wait, why does the topic of exes, just the mere mention of it, bring about those feelings of, like, I can't believe you even, are you even thinking about them? Oh, you spoke about them. You said their names. Oh my word, there's a picture of you and them together this past weekend. So why does the mere mention of exes bring about that discomfort?
Because we as people struggle enormously with two main experiences or feelings with an ex. The one is a desire to be closing, and the other one is a desire to keep connected.
Okay.
And it's at that very center where we find ourselves struggling enormously. And because of that, there is so much inflamed emotion around it. So I have to be clear.
Okay.
I have to be clear on my own standpoint around it, is that I really am opposed to people staying connected with exes. And I want our viewers to take me on, because that's a provocative statement to make. But I really want you to be good. I want you to be honest. I want people to be very honest and to share why is it that they still want to be connected to the exes. I don't get that. So educate me.
I'll definitely take you on. I'll definitely take you on, and I want to have you educate me this morning. But is talking about your past relationship experiences on the outset of a new relationship a bad idea?
No, it's a really important idea. To be able to share, because remember, the foundation of a new relationship is something called love mapping. Love mapping, that's your bottom line of the pyramid. We've spoken about the pyramid so many times. That's your first thing of finding out who each other are, because you want to get a sense of this person's values and this person's own integrity, or what their baggage is. It's very, very important to be able to do that. And then you are caught up in the awareness of an emotional response that a person's going to have when they talk about their exes. If they do not talk about their exes, that in itself is indicative to you of a kind of a red flag situation. Because why are they not talking about their exes?
When they've had one.
When they've had one or a few. And one would expect that when you get into a mature adult relationship, you have had some kind of experience or some kind of fascination or in love with somebody else. So your attitude to the way that you're talking about your exes is very, very important and very indicative of how much attachment there is still. And we're going to look just now at some of the guidelines to knowing whether your ex is still attached to you. We'll take viewers through that as well.
Okay, well, in the meantime, we'll also keep our lines open. 02143098881. How do you handle the topic of your exes in your current relationship? What are the rules that govern when it comes to talking about them, talking to them? Call us with your questions or your comments for our relationship expert, Dr. Eve, to tackle and engage with. We'll be back with her very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Monday morning relationship chat with Dr. Eve. And the topic of the day, exes in your relationship. When should you be talking to them? Should you be talking about them? How much should you be divulging about them? We have Anonymous on the line who give us a call on 021 430 9881. Anonymous, a very good morning to you. You can go ahead.
Very good morning to you. I don't think that it's a bad thing necessarily being in contact with your ex, especially in the case of I've got a child with my ex. So we have a very civil relationship. I mean, our relationship ended more than 9 years ago. But we're still in contact with each other every week, always up to date with what's happening with our kids. But furthermore than that, just supportive of each other.
Wow, congratulations, Anonymous.
Thank you very much
So
for sharing
proud
that
of
with us. And
you.
of course, this is one of the,
So proud
I guess
of you.
the
It's a common
exceptions
one.
and and a
I
common
think
one.
exceptions as well. So proud of her that she's able to, for the sake of the children, because that's a problem when you in a relationship where there are children that are involved. You don't have a choice but to remain
Yeah.
together.
I suppose, is it then important the type of conversation that you are having with your ex then? Because one might think then only have conversations that have got to do with the children. Is it bordering on something else when you now start talking about, oh, what are your plans for this weekend? Oh, what have you ironed your clothes? Or what
Very
do you talk
personal.
about?
So let me give you some statistics about research. There was research that was done around sex with your ex. And they found that people who'd been divorced for about 4 months, 22% of them were still having sex with their ex. They also asked college students, and 27% of college students were still having sex with their ex. And 14% of people who had their last casual relationship or casual fling was with their ex.
Wow.
So there is a huge amount of attraction and chemistry that may still exist between you and your ex. And that would be one of the reasons why you should not be connecting with your ex if there's still that chemistry there. A lot of people find that they want to keep connected with their ex because there isn't chemistry and it feels kind of safe. Kat?
I was going to talk to what Anonymous was speaking about
Yes,
right now,
which-
obviously
yes,
the
go
link
ahead.
of the child between them. But
Yes.
then she also mentioned that they continue to be supportive of each other.
Yes.
So to
Very
what
beautiful.
extent does that support constitute what is a healthy connection with your ex versus something that could be detrimental to your current relationship,
Yeah.
being supportive of
Yeah.
an ex?
I think it's quite fantastic if there is that support. The big question will come into how do I present that to my new partner?
Okay.
And if my new partner is feeling that that support is too personal, like you were talking about just
Yeah.
now, to be so really too personal, you want to discuss that. You
Yeah.
never want to keep it secret. We know that's a killer of any relationship. And if you feel like your ex is jealous or insecure in your relationship, then you're going to start keeping it secret. So I'm saying to all people who are in relationships with current partners and they are exes, get a life. Really get some security around it. If you know that there is openness, they're sharing it with you and they can discuss it with you. Many people stay connected to an ex because they see it as a way of still keeping the door open, because they're not really committed to their new relationship and the new person's going to feel that. So be very clear again, be honest with yourself. When I ask the question, why are you really keeping connected with your ex? Is it because you really don't feel committed to that new relationship? You're still hoping to get back to your old relationship? And there's a timing factor. How soon can you actually say, I'm friends with my ex?
Well, the
Yeah.
conversation continues with Dr. Eva, and because it's such a big one, it's such a hot one, there's so much to get through and
Yeah.
lots of questions. We want to hear from you. If you've got any questions or comments, why don't you give us a call, 021-430-9881. Dr. Eva is with us. We're talking relationships. We're talking how to deal with an ex in your current relationship. And yeah, it's a
So much
heated
to
one.
unpack.
Heated one.
We'll be right back.
Only you can make my day.
Right, welcome back to Heartbreak City. Well, it's a Monday morning relationship chat with Dr. Eve. We're talking about exes in your relationship. And earlier on, Dr. Eve did say that she'd give us some guidelines as to how to manage that whole procedure.
Yeah.
And perhaps like Anonymous, who called earlier on, you found a great way of handling the content of your ex in your relationship. Give us a call, 021-430-9881. We have Anonymous on the line. Good morning, Anonymous. Anonza. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Great to have you on the line. What's your comment or question?
So recently, my boyfriend's ex has started working with me. So I don't know how to handle that at all.
It's not a very clear line, Anonymous.
Yeah.
Do you mind just repeating that question again, please?
Right. So recently, my boyfriend's ex has started working with me, and he is at work majority of the week. So it's just kind of stressful because we'll be starting out basing her. It's just, yeah, it's a difficult situation.
All right. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. So I guess now, go ahead.
Is that, did she say?
So her current partner's
Is working with
ex-girlfriend
him.
is now
Working with him.
working with her.
With her, sorry.
With her. As I understand, Anonymous, please correct me if I'm wrong, but he is now
that's correct,
spending a lot of time at their workplace during the week.
Yeah.
All right.
Just since the ex came in.
Say that again, Anonymous.
The shifts are quite long.
The shifts
so,
are
yeah.
quite long. Okay. Right, thank you for sharing that with us. Stay on the line as
Does
Dr.
that
Eve
mean
reflects
that
on
he's
this.
spending a lot of time alone with the ex, or with the ex and anonymous?
Good question. So while he's at work, at your workspace, Anonymous, is he spending an inordinate amount of time with you or with his ex?
Well, he has to be at work quite a lot in a week, and I mean, it's not like he's one-on-one with her, but I mean, they are a big group, but it's just that he has to be around her in that space.
So they are in
majority of the
contact
week.
there.
They are.
He wants to be around her in that space. Is that the feeling that you get?
Yeah.
No,
that the
it's
feeling?
just that it's his job. He can't exactly be rude. I mean, the
Yes.
thing called like work
Okay.
etiquette, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, Anonymous, you called into us because what? Do you feel uncomfortable around this? Do you feel threatened by it?
Yes, I feel like I need to know how I should handle it. I mean, I know it's his work. He can't exactly just say no to something. I mean, if he has to work in hand with her, he can't say no. It's his job. That type.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. So how do you handle
Yeah, I mean,
that
I have
kind of thing?
100 questions for her because I'm keen to know around, number one, does she feel neglected in the relationship generally? Does she feel secure in the relationship with her current partner? Or is she feeling that there is still a pull of attraction to the ex that she just feels she just can't
It's probably
compete
getting
with?
reignited now that they're
They
seeing
say-
each other
I
a
mean,
lot
and
more.
let's face it, when you're in a work situation, there is a huge amount of intimacy that is there. You're in each other's faces, you're sharing the same conversations, you've got the same goals, and so there is a lot of intensity in that space. Anonymous, you know what? You've got to just have a lot of self-esteem, you've got to have a lot of belief in yourself, and don't compare yourself to the ex. Just stick with who you are, okay?
Okay.
Build on your relationship rather than take the energy and focus on fighting around the ex.
All right, well, I tell you what, we're going to keep our lines open. Anonymous, thank you very much for that call.
Yeah.
0214309881. We'll be back again with Dr. Eve addressing exes in our relationships and how to deal with that. We'll see you after a very short break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, welcome back to it. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show on a Monday morning. You can see
I'm on
by
the edge
that
of the
image
chair.
over there that we are talking matters of the heart with Dr. Eve. And this morning's relationship topic is exes in your relationship, how to handle that. Should you even be talking to them about them? When is the right kind of time? We've had a couple of calls from two calls from anonymous
we
callers. And telling us how they're handling it in their relationship. One successfully, the other one not. And during the break right now, Tariso actually brought up something very important, that sometimes where your current relationship, your partner will go, but I'm uncomfortable with you being in contact with your ex. And then you ask, why? And then they go, because it makes me uncomfortable. But you want to find out why. And is it the case, this is a question, is it the case that all too often people are not willing to acknowledge that the reason I'm uncomfortable is because I am insecure? Or the reason I'm uncomfortable is because I don't trust you. The reason why I'm uncomfortable, you know, all these different reasons that really hit at the core of what the problem is, and they just kind of leave it to, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Are people just not willing to acknowledge that?
Yeah, and also because maybe they're saying, I want more commitment from you. So I'm going to give you a few guidelines for our viewers as to whether your partner is still hooked into the ex, whether they're over interested in the ex. So here are some things that you should think about.
Okay.
Do they still have photos of the ex on the telephone, on their mobile, and that when you say I'm uncomfortable, they refuse to remove them?
Yeah.
Do they take you to the same places that they used to go to with their ex because it gives them nice memories? Do they try and make you dress or become or behave in a way like their ex because it makes them feel still connected to their ex? Do they still find reasons to keep connected with their ex, not only for birthdays or anniversaries or important parts in their lives, but just generally excuses to keep connected? Do they become quite emotionally inflamed when you ask them about their ex? That will be a very good indicator to you that they're still emotionally attached there. Do they avoid talking about their ex, even though you think it's a neutral topic to be able to talk about? So also, if they're refusing to put up images of the two of you as a couple on social media, that may be because they actually don't want their ex to know that they're now invested into a new relationship. Those are some of the signs for you that you should talk to and say, I'm more interested in that in terms of our lack of commitment or your lack of commitment to our relationship, and let's talk about your emotional investment that you still feel towards your ex. Because, I mean, Kat, we can't deny that there is still tendrils of attachment that we're always going to have, and I would much prefer people honor it rather than duck and dive and secretively furtively connect with their exes, because that causes the problem.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge that these people were important in our lives. They gave us a sense of belonging. They also gave us a sense of having shared very important parts of our lives with them.
Yeah.
You can't just dismiss them from your life.
Yeah. All right. Wow. I mean, what a way to start the week. And I'm sure this will be engaging or will be sparking a lot of conversation around the water
hope
cooler
so.
at the
I hope
office
so.
regarding exes. And
Yes.
hopefully sparking a lot of great conversation between you and your partner and
Yes.
opening up those chapters that were perhaps maybe left glued by the pages of time,
Yes.
to disappear into the dark. But thank you very much for engaging with us. Thank you so much to all of our callers out there
Yes.
who shared their stories with us. We'll do this again next week. And as always, thanks, babe.